What's up, everybody? I know a lot of y'all don't like poetry, but I'm going to do a poem for y'all. It goes, if the Willie Lynch letter was authentic, then the spell of self-hate should have been lifted by now. But here we are, 2022, still doing shit that's detrimental to the state of black existence, all for the sake of keeping it a buck. You ever notice white people, they can fight each other like lions versus leopards, but still find a way to come together at the end of the day and go play golf? On the green, men meet under this white umbrella, and they swing iron between their legs like it's their love muscle, and their only objective is to knock a little white ball off the face of the earth, symbolically. This probably started as a smear campaign, turned into a game, but now it's a sport. Thinking back, the only truth that I was ever taught in school was math. Everything else was white people's side of the story. This is why history is classified as his story. All the flavor that black people gave this country to help make it great is always erased, and it makes like we fell from the sky, and we landed into slavery. And then we jumped up and marched across the Edmund Pettus Bridge for the right to sit on the same toilet seat as white people. That's because racism is a religion in America. Religion is a Ponzi scheme. And a good way to tell you going through a bad neighborhood is when you see a lot of churches. There's usually 2 or 3 in one block. The block is always lopsided, and this is precarious in its foundation. You give money to the church, but it don't circulate. The pastor got a smile that's fake, and everybody in the community is crying broke, but the church is the only institution that's stacking cake. But there are levels to this shit. Think about it. When immigrants go to another country, they do it for a better way of life, right? But if that's the case, then you can't say the same thing about my forefathers. A better way of life was built up their back. In fact, some of them came to this country the way convicts go to court. Their hands and feet were fettered to the ground down in the bowels of a slave ship like cheap fish, saltwater seasick and suffocate from the stench of their own excrement. Now, wait a minute. Immigrants don't travel like this. They was being treated like hostages, getting smoked like sausages in a tight ship shipped across the earth for 2 purposes. That was to provide comfort and wealth for European nations. But even inside a race, there's another race. It's for the white people that come in last. They described as trash and used as buffers to keep black people in their place. When on any given day, all they got to do is shave and bathe and put on a suit and tie, and they fit right back into the upper crust of society. And we spend so much time looking up to them because we spend too much time looking down on each other. But again, there are levels to this shit. Think about it. It was Tricky Dick Richard Nixon that classified single black mothers as welfare queens. He championed his message to make it seem like all of America's economical problems were black folks' fault. But how so? And what I don't get is how school books always find a way to omit how black folks was brought to this country against their will and used as free labor to fulfill white people's dream of life, liberty, and the pursuit of property. The black family was property, and property was changed to happiness. And you would be happy too if you was given land as far as the eye can see and employees that you never had to pay. And every day they work from Kansas morning to Kansas night, harvesting rice, picking cotton, chopping tobacco, digging ditches, building bridges, uprooting trees, and a list of backbreaking chores that had to be accomplished at the end of the day. And at the end of the day, all they had to eat and drink was water from a creek and some fat bat. I grew up in Harlem on a cobblestone street across the street from this mansion. Now, this mansion down in this plantation overlooking the colonial housing projects. This was around 1973. I remember vividly watching a black and white TV that colored black people lazy. And this is a lie, because hard work was called nigger work. And white people did not believe in getting their hands dirty with black people around, because that would have leveled the playing field. And equality was unheard of back then. And today it's hypocritical. Why? How can we play tit for tat in a capitalistic society when you don't own nothing, you don't control nothing, nobody depends on you for anything except the criminal justice system? In my opinion, this is one of the reasons that public schools look like prisons. It's a form of conditioning and social engineering. I was in IS 10 and 154 before the metal detectors came, and Cops and Robbers was a game we played because we were in the early stages of a mental illness that would later be described as, boy, is you crazy? What else would you call it when black children think they got the liberty to play with toy pistols in the park like white children do? You know that's a big mistake, because I'm going to have to take action and call the police. I forgot the rest. But there are levels to this shit. Let me see. There are levels to this. Let me see if there's another level to this. Got a level to this. It goes, once the smoke clear and the dust settle, we'll go right back to doing regular shit, rocking seersucker suits and biscuit hats. And the black women gonna have on their Sunday best, yellow dresses, skin like gold. Black girls got sunblock in their soul, and they can stop traffic when they walk down the street. And all this is deep on the surface. But when you look deeper, we never supposed to cross the street until a white man say so. You just think all these years we've been in America and ain't nothing changed except the name of the street, and the black man had a seat in the White House for a minute, but he came and went, and he couldn't make changes to the system because the system he we face is racism. It's like the fabric woven into your tailor-made suit that gives it that perfect fit. European nations use religion to validate their racism. They said the black man was cursed because of the color of his skin, called us heathen. This is the reason we receive so much mistreatment from these European nations. But hold up, the Holy Bible ain't holy. It's like an old school mixtape that's constantly re-edited and updated to suit the modern day and time. And every time you turn around, there's a new version. I got a version, but I gotta go. All right, y'all, take it easy.